Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Gipsogu. I'm a Nigerian YouTuber who moved from England, United Kingdom to Alberta, Canada. And if this is your first time watching any of my videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. I make videos about lifestyle, travel, freelancing and everything in between. If you'd like to level up your life in 2025, this is the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my experience with racism in Canada. When people, especially black people, think of relocation, first of all, if I even go into that, have you subscribed to my YouTube channel or yet? If you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, what are you waiting for? Like, what's going on? What's that about? Please hit the subscribe button and subscribe to my YouTube channel as soon as possible. Now that you're subscribed, let's get it. I wanted to say that relocation is something that is very normal. We always frown at relocation, or we call African people, oh, they're coming to take our what's it called, our benefits, they're coming to take this, they're coming to take that. Relocation is common. People are moving every time. Black people are actually moving out of their countries, and then white people are also moving out of their countries. The people moving from the UK to Canada, that one is like very prominent with the working holiday visa. People are moving from the UK to Dubai, from the UK to Thailand, from the UK to Malaysia. Relocation is happening every day. So I'm speaking now, people are planning to relocate. So it's not when you hear black people are relocating, they're leaving their countries for better opportunities, they now say, oh, they're taking their benefits, because when I was in the UK, I actually heard that a lot, they're taking our benefits. And to be very honest, nobody international students coming into the country, coming into the UK, coming into Canada, they are not entitled to any benefit. They're not entitled to benefits whatsoever. They don't have any access to any benefits. Coming to the UK, my school fees alone was around £14,000 minus my living expenses, that was around £10,000, and then money that you need here and there. You have to pay rent, you have to do a whole lot of things, you need to pay your school fees, we were not entitled to any single benefit. Nothing, absolutely nothing. We're not entitled to it. So when I see all of these comments online saying, oh, you're coming to collect benefits, oh, you're coming to collect, it does not even make any sense, because we're not entitled to any benefits as international students. Even when you go on the sponsorship visa in the UK, which is the tier 2 visa, you're still not entitled to any benefits until you become like a permanent resident of England or the UK, or a citizen. You're not entitled to any benefits. So when things are going on, they're like, oh, racism, people are coming to our country, there is no benefit, the government is spending our money on them. People that are coming to study are paying a whole lot of money. They're paying way more than domestic students are paying. It's a lot of money. Nobody's coming to take your benefits. Now that I've had that rant out of the way, let's go into my experience with racism in Canada. When you think of moving abroad as a black person, unlike a white person, there are a lot of things to consider. Consider the language, you consider racism, is it immigrant friendly? Because you don't want to be there alone, like lonely, depressed, and then something will go and happen to you. It does not make any sense. So you need to do your research to see, being black in Finland, being black in Sweden, being black in Norway, how is the racism there? How is there racism? Is it a thing there? Am I going to see my people there? Am I going to be able to cope well? Am I going to have issues at work, or even issues getting a job? These are some of the questions that we ask, and that's why most times most immigrants, especially black immigrants, like to stick to English speaking countries like the UK, Canada, the US. It doesn't mean that you won't encounter racism in these countries. Of course you will probably encounter racism. Of course, you probably encounter racism in these countries. However, oh my god, my watch is still counting. Oh god. You probably encounter racism in these countries, of course. However, it's compared to where you can't even speak the language, and in Canada, is there racism in Canada? I get that question a lot. I've been very vocal about my move from the UK to Canada, from Nigeria to the UK to Canada, and people have lots of questions like, am I going to go up in Canada? Am I going to be able to find a job? Is there racism in Canada? And I'm not going to say there is no racism. Neither am I going to say that there is racism, but I've had an encounter, or 2 encounters, or 3 encounters. The first one I would like to talk about is I went downtown. I can't even remember what I went there to do, but I know that I was just walking past the road, and then this guy just there screaming at me. He was just yelling at me, and he was like, oh, go back to your country, you're coming here to take our benefits, I bet the government is paying you for everything, I bet the government is giving you money. Giving me what? Giving me what? I bet you're here to take out benefits. You guys don't work, you don't do this, you don't do that, you just come, government gives you money, government. You know what? God. And it was so funny to me. I was actually really scared because it was, I won't say it was a lonely path, but I think I was the only one. I was walking alone, not with my husband or my friends. I was just going alone, and I was really scared because you don't know what can happen. Someone can be angry, and you know, so you have to be very careful. So I was really terrified. I think that thing really scarred me because it was one of my first experiences when I moved to the country. But then, like, I already did my research. I knew that I was going to make here home, and I did not want that to really affect me negatively, so I kind of ignored it. But he kept on like yelling on. I increased my pace when it had to do with walking. I increased my pace. I was like, oh, I bet the government is, I don't know how to do the Canadian accent, I'm sorry, but it was like, I bet the government is paying you for this, I bet the government is doing this, I bet the government is oh my God, I felt very violated that day. Violated is the word, it has to be the word, violated that day. And I was terrified, like I said. I know that a lot of black people have had that experience. Even when you post your content on social media, you see a whole lot of comments, which takes me to my number two. My number two is like online racism from people. Yeah, and most times TikTok sees the comments and blocks them. And blocks the comments, but most times I like to go and see it. And then when I post a video saying, oh, I'm moving from the UK to Canada, and then I'm getting a whole lot of messages like, oh, we don't want you here, go back to your country, go back to your like And when someone from the UK, like a white person, is moving from the UK to Canada as on a working holiday visa, you don't get to see this kind of outrage in their comment sections. I think they are more welcomed. But when a black person puts up this kind of content on social media, there's a whole outrage like, oh my God, stay in your country, don't come here, stay in your country, stay. So for social media, I get like for that one, I just like kind of ignore it or delete the comments, or I don't have time to engage with that. I have a lot of things on my plate. I don't have energy or time to engage with that kind of comments. But that's on social media. Another encounter, I don't know if I'll call this racism, I don't know what I'll call this experience, I don't know what I'll call it. But I know that when I moved here, you know, like everyone talks about networking, network like network here and there and all of that. So reach out to people, like be open, ask for a coffee chat and all of that. I was looking for a job in comms or marketing, something in communication marketing and all of that. So I was reaching out to people, not that they should give me references, but hey, I'm new here, like, you know, this kind of thing. I'm not saying, oh, give me a job or something. I'm new here, like, can you tell me more about the industry, that kind of thing. So I reached out to this guy, like he's my connection on LinkedIn. I can't remember when I connected with him, but I reached out to him and then, you know, chatted, hey, I'm new here, like I moved from blah 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 and all of that. I would just like to know what, you know, this industry is like, that kind of thing. You would have just ignored me, but he did actually ignore me. He didn't respond, which a lot of people did not respond, and I don't take that to heart. It's not that deep, do you understand? It's not that deep. I don't take that to heart. So after a while, like I saw that there was this event, there's something that I actually attend once in a while. So I attended that, and the guy was the one speaking. So after the session, there's the networking. So I walked up to the guy and I was like, hey, I sent you a message and all of that, I don't know from you. He was like, oh, like, and I understand, like, you're overwhelmed, you get a whole lot of messages, and that makes so much sense. So like I said, it's not that deep, I'm not taking it to heart. So I told him, oh, like, I'm new, I'm looking for a job and all of that. And I was like, oh, I'm not asking you for a referral, nothing, I'm not asking you for anything, but I just wanted, like, you know, to chat about like the industry and all. If you have like any advice, any piece of advice for someone that is new, that's looking to break into this industry, someone with experience basically that's looking to break into this industry. I was like, oh, can I like schedule an online meeting with you? And he was like, oh yeah, sure, why not? And then I scheduled this online. So I went for we had a chat, and after having this chat, so we agreed to schedule like an online like a Zoom or Google Meet to just chat about, like I said, I wanted to know more about the industry. I'm not asking you for a referral, I wanted to know more about the industry, and you know, I'm new here, I just wanted to know more about the industry. he said I should schedule it. I scheduled it. I sent him the link. He ghosted me. He ghosted me. I just feel that if you if you didn't want to have the chat, you would have said that, when I saw you, walked up to you, and I'm not going to do anything to you. But then, like, agreeing for me to telling me to schedule this, then I schedule it and I send you the link, and then you ghost me again. That's heartbreaking, okay? And I'm not saying that it happened to me because I'm black, because I'm not going to like try to be a victim or victimize myself, or like make it feel like, oh my god, I have an amazing career mentor now, like I'm in a very good place, okay? I'm just like sharing my experience like I always do. I just feel that if you do not want to do that, then you should have let me know, instead of like making me make that meeting. And on the day of the meeting, like I was like, okay, maybe you saw what I sent you, on the day of the meeting, you just said something, oh sorry, I'm like something, but then just outright ghosting. I don't know how to feel about that, okay? I don't really know how to feel about that. So there's that when it has to do with there's that. I don't know what to classify this as. I'm not an entitled person. I'm not an entitled person at all. Like, I'm not entitled to your time. I'm not entitled to your response. I'm not entitled to anything. But it just made me feel in some sort of way. I've moved past it. A whole lot of things I've moved past. I'm just talking about them now, okay? I've moved past it, and this thing happened way into 2024. So it's not a recent occurrence at all. Which is why when people reach out to me on LinkedIn, or I try as much as possible to like respond to them. When people send me DMs on TikTok, a DM that is not hello, I'm not going to respond to hello. But when people send me like a DM, I try to respond as much as I can. But yeah, that was very heartbreaking though. So I don't know if this classifies as racist. I don't know what will classify this as. If you know, leave it in the comment section. The final one we'll talk about today is the bus, okay? I feel that sometimes when the bus is crowded and there's like a black person, some people would just intentionally not sit down close to you. They just prefer to stand. They just prefer to stand. Even if the bus is like crowded and then there's a whole lot of space where you're sitting as a black person, there's some people that would just not sit with you. And I remember when I was still an undergraduate, my lecturer told me of a time that he traveled abroad. I can't remember the exact country, but it was in Europe. And then he was on the train, and nobody just sat down there, like completely. Like, it was just empty. People just intentionally did not want to sit close to him, near him, around him. They just did not want to be around him because he was black. So there's the bus experience too, like, aside from people, they just don't want to sit close to you. And I mean, I like it too. Like, I like it. I can stretch my leg, open my legs properly, balance properly, sit well. But yeah, it's just like sad. It's heartbreaking. I wanted to know if any other person has had this kind of experience. Before you come to my inbox or my comment section to come and say, you are coming to spoil the economy, you're coming to collect benefits. I am not. I came here as a permanent resident. Permanent residency means a skilled worker route, which means I did not just move here from the backyard or wherever. I actually wrote my English test. I don't know why I'm explaining this thing anyway, but please, let's do it. I wrote my English test, which is the IELTS General. Aside from the English test, I also wrote my I also verified my credentials. I have a bachelor's degree, I have a master's degree too. I have over 5 years of experience working in marketing communications. I did not have money to do this. This is not free, okay? It cost a whole lot of money. I approved of funds for my family of 2. It was almost, I don't know how much. It was more than $13,000. That's how much we needed to have to come here, plus the amount of money we spent on our application. For our medicals alone, me myself, only me, I spent £350 to do my medical test, plus my partner, which both of us £700. If you want to do the math to convert it in Canadian dollars to see that, paid for biometrics, we paid for right to permanent residency fee, we paid for permanent residency fee, we paid for West. That West cost me 200 and something Canadian dollars, I can't remember. My IELTS was £180. So this is not cheap. My flight from London to Edmonton costs a lot. Accommodation here, so it's not like it's a lot, it's expensive. Nobody handed anything out to me. It's a skilled workers visa. We remind you again, it's a skilled workers visa. So all this, go back to your country, you're coming to collect our benefits. It's 2025, okay? Like it's 2025. So I mean, don't do that. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. If you've had any experience with racism, can I know in the comment section? Let me know your experience being black in Finland, being black in Germany, being black in Canada, being black in England. Let me know. The thing is, at work, I've never had any of these experiences, which is amazing. Because in the UK, I did have one experience where someone told me to. So it's not like someone told me something. They're asking me, there's some questions. Like there's a way that people will just talk to you and you're like, please go and read, go outside and touch grass. And they're like, oh yeah, you came here because like things are so bad in Nigeria, like everybody's so poor, everybody's... It was a colleague of mine that said that, and I was like, where did you hear that from? And she was like, oh, you know, things are so poor back home. How your family coping? That kind of, how is your family at home coping? My family, I don't understand. What do you, like, what do you people think that Nigeria is just like bush? Okay, people that don't, like, they're just bush people that don't know anything. I don't get it, though. I don't understand. Like, help me here, make it make sense to me. I don't get it. Anyway so you could see a whole lot of things on TV, and you think that everybody in Africa lives in huts. Everybody's struggling. I'm not saying that everybody's enjoying or things are so amazing. We have like great leaders and all of that, but don't think that people that are paying £14,000 for school fees for a master's degree minus living expenses, costs, flight and everything, don't think that it's you know, how do you think they got the money? People actually have jobs back home. There are people that are actually from like comfortable families back home, and not like politicians comfortable. People that are okay. Everybody's not struggling to eat, and you know what you say, people are not living in huts or some things. Like, this is 2025. Like, get over it, okay? Go and do your research. Go outside and touch some grass. Open your mind to knowing a whole lot of things, and you know, nothing really annoyed me. And that thing is, I've not had anybody touch my hair here, say, oh, can I touch your hair? I've had questions about hair, but I've not had anybody touch my hair, which is very good. I don't like people touching my hair, okay? Like, I don't think anybody likes that too, but I've not had anybody like touch my hair here, which, I mean, I'm so glad about that, because in UK I'll have people touch my hair, like, unhinged, randomly. Why are you doing that? Don't do that. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I need to go on my walk now. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and tell me, have you had any racist experience as a black person? Please let me know in the comment section. Till I come again next time. Bye.